Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Today I'm talking to you about land, SPS, and the future of Splinterlands and my faith and where it comes from in the developers of this amazing blockchain-based video game. It's actually a clip from the long 2-hour live that I did with WalkingKeys and Gank the other day. If you saw that thing, this will be a replay to you. None of this was posted on my channel previously, and this is a select set of comments focusing around the issues of SPS, and really the future, my faith in the future of this amazing game. If that sounds interesting, stick around. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Dwayne, and you can call me 12. We cover Splinterlands all day, every day. If you're interested in more content from me or more access to me, you can check out the community page of the YouTube channel. Support me at silver or higher, and you're going to become a intern for my guild. We select new players for our guild from that body of participants. And at Diamond and Champion, there's opportunities to have one-on-one monthly meetings with me, okay? So if that sounds interesting, check it out, and let's get into it.
But I just want to give a big shout out, and we appreciate you guys. So we're going to take some questions from the audience in a minute. But, you know, to be honest, while we have Infidel here, we want to talk to him first. So, but yeah, so we got Chaos Legion starting tomorrow, and we're like coming up on, 12-hour or what? How many hours? It's
14 hours. 14 hours. 12 p.m. Noon Eastern tomorrow,
which is very exciting. But after Chaos Legion, what are you most looking forward to, Infidel? Like above all, other than Chaos Legion, what's on the horizon that's got your spidey senses peaked?
I think the next biggest thing, in my opinion, right now is SPS, because a couple things. I mean, first of all, if your viewers haven't watched the SPS read the SPS 2022 roadmap, I think it was called, that man is so full of stuff. You got to read that. And I say SPS now because, like I said, Rift Watchers they said maybe March. And I really do believe that argument I provided is pretty sound. Why wouldn't SPS pump as we're approaching a new a booster pack, especially because I do believe we're going to see sell out of Chaos Legion. And so people are going to be I think people are going to be surprised how fast Chaos Legion sells out. And that's going to spark FOMO on, even more FOMO on Rift Watchers. And there's only 3 million packs of Rift Watchers. And then the whole SPS got to buy it to pay for it. And then what that's going to do to the foundation, and governance is coming. And man, to me, SPS is the big thing. And like I said, I alluded to earlier with the tournaments and with the, rank battle rewards, all of that, to me, I'm fixated on building my bag. I want 1 million SPS, and I'm nowhere near it. So that's for me the next big target. And of course I'll be looking at land and yes, Rift Watchers, and I'll be getting I'm selling some of my land now, but only because I really want to move into more Chaos Legion. And even that, I would love it if Chaos Legion pumped, and then I can maybe sell some, and then maybe buy another tract. Like more land is what I want, not less. So there's so many good things in there.
I do really believe that SPS, the one of the biggest things that's going to accelerate SPS is the rewards for the games for ranked play. I think that's something that is going to wake everybody up, and then they're going to start stacking. That's going to start pushing prices up, and really SPS causes the floor for all the assets. So that's going to start to kind of create that positive loop. Again, because we've kind of been in that negative loop as people are selling everything for these $4 packs after it sells out. Now I think we have room to start to really push up. And I really feel like there's going to be a new cycle around Chaos Legion. There's already been a few announcements, few partnerships that, have been strategically saved for this week that probably could have been announced weeks ago. But Aggroed and Matt know what they're doing, and they're just trying to organize and really create a little bit of a buzz here. But yeah, I think SPS definitely is going to have a heck of a year. And I think 1 million is a good target. That'll be my goal as well.
Yeah, I was saying in a video this morning, like I said, I recorded one talking about DEC and why I'm packing the bag, but it was really part of my argument is that SPS excitement and eagerness and all those airdrop points. But then I say in that video, and I'll share it here because it's so important. It's kind of what you just said. People are going to realize how little SPS they have and how much they need. And they're going to see people who have big SPS bags just taking huge daily chunks of the SPS pool. And
Yep.
and then and also everyone's liquidating SPS right now because they're just selling everything that's not nailed down. But for 15 cents, like the cost benefit analysis there to me is just, it doesn't make sense anymore. Like at 25 cents, it came out of the gate. It was like 80 cents or 90 cents on like when it first launched.
No, it was like 20 cents when it first launched, but it got up to 80 cents pretty quick. It did move up, and it did seem like,
it came down pretty quick too.
It came down pretty quick too. But it definitely, it's still about where it started more or less. But I do agree with you in the fact that the risk right now with selling your SPS is that if it gets announced on Binance tomorrow, you're looking at buying back at $1 or 75 cents a piece, like something ridiculous. Like the thought of selling this and I can replace it next week or in 2 weeks might not be a reasonable thought. Just in case something like that pops, it's going to change the game.
I'm wondering what you guys think about this. I just think to myself, could SPS go to 5 cents? Maybe. Maybe. Could it go to $1? And like, which would be more like, I feel like it's more, it could go to $1 so easily. And I feel like if it went to 5 cents, that would be like a many month bleed out in my mind. And so like that to me is like, there could be a 5, like, what is that, $1 from 15 cents to $1, a 7x or something almost overnight. Versus like a many month bleed out, and you're going to lose like a couple cents. Maybe it goes from 15 to 14 or 14 to 13, but that's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to go from 15 to 5. So I just feel like there is upside. There is an outsized potential reward versus the potential risk. That's what my opinion would be on it.
Yeah. And one thing about Chaos Legion, I've heard a bunch of times as people talk about, there's there's so much more cards, so many more packs than Untamed. There's 10 times as many packs. People don't realize that when Untamed came out, there was only 5,000 active accounts per day. We've 80x since then. So really, there's still 8 times more demand for packs now than there were when Untamed came out. And that's important to realize, like, that really it's not a lot of cards coming into play compared to how much we've grown.
Absolutely.
I made a huge mistake recently with SPS. I sold some OMI token and bought SPS when it was at like 18 cents or 17.9 or something like that, because I thought it was a great deal. And then since then, OMI has doubled, so that hurt. But it really doesn't hurt because I bought SPS. I do believe in it. And I was actually planning on, because I had sold some cards and moved some things around and sold some other stuff, and actually had SPS and staked it, thinking I'm going to unstake it right before Chaos Legion and then use that to buy some packs. I'm not unstaking anything. I'm not touching any of it. It's all staying staked because first of all, I can't sell anything that's at 15 cents of SPS. It's painful for my soul. It's painful to sell the 300 that I'm putting towards packs tomorrow. But other than that, everything else is other assets. But other than that, I can't get rid of it. And I think this comment right here from OC is pretty on the money. I don't know about the actual 100K, but I don't see a way for anyone not to feel left out or have regret if they don't have 100K SPS staked by the end of June.
I want to mention one more thing about SPS that I think really goes over virtually everybody's head, is that SPS isn't a token where all its value is retained in the token. Phase 1 of the airdrop, I think it was $20 million got airdropped in vouchers. Phase 2, I mean, it was less per voucher, but still a significant amount, probably a couple $1 million. That's with 400 million tokens, that $20 million is 5 cents per token. So that's a 5 cents that is in addition to, you know, the price right now that we have in our pockets. So, I mean, I think it's just important to realize that, you know, the price has come down, but the benefits of SPS are many, and that includes being able to play tournaments like we've talked about, which those tournaments are paying sometimes 3 or 4x of what the buy-ins are for them. Like big tournaments, they're giving away thousands of dollars extra every week. So, you know, there's a lot of value in those tokens that isn't directly like you're able to figure out just by the price and what that price was compared to the price 5 months ago, because of all of these additional things. And that's kind of how they're going to keep doing it. So it's important to kind of think about that aspect of it as well.
For sure.
Yeah, that's a great point, Gank. And you know, you don't have to be a super whale to take advantage of it, because I am not a super whale, but I'm using my vouchers that I got for free when I buy my 100 packs tomorrow to get my 10 free packs. So that's basically 40 free dollars of value I'm getting for my SPS. So I'm very thankful for that.
Right. So now that you think about it like that, you don't feel as bad about that Omi play.
No, I don't.
Yeah, something like this
All
is yeah, like I feel like I'd rather be early to the SPS party than late, because
Yeah.
I think those, like I say, I just think it could go to the moon. Like, so like I've heard you say so many times, Gank, you know, imminent Binance, and it could be like, I really think they're playing footsie. Like, I think Binance is probably like, you know, we'll list you, like we just need you to pay the fee, and Nagy's like, no, you'll list us. And I think that's really happening, and like, who knows when it happens, but it's gonna happen. And when it does, man, like people are gonna say, man, I wish I had more SPS, and then rank battle rewards, and they're gonna say, I wish I had more SPS, and some people are just never gonna get a bag because it's gonna reach to levels, and you're gonna get left behind.
They keep kicking down the road for sure. And I really believe that, you know, Aggro told us that story kind of in bravado, like kind of like to kind of create a story about it, but in reality, there was so much scaling issues at the time that why would he open that door up at that moment? So I feel like, if anything, it's going to be part of this 1-2 punch with Chaos Legion coming out, and you know, they got the team together now. He's got to be confident about it. If it's only $500,000 to be listed, if they were already offered that, which is what they told us, why wouldn't they just go ahead and plop that down? And you know, that's why I feel like it could be 2 weeks, you know, like that we're at $1. It'd be awesome.
I'm getting excited.
Yeah, dude. Every time I hop on a stream, I get more and more excited. And that's why I've been streaming more lately, just because I'm getting more and more excited. You know, one thing too, a lot of people are talking about are the validation or validators. What do you think about that, Gank? I know this is not something we've talked about on the stream. And one of the things that I don't really know a whole lot about that stuff, but it does sound very interesting. And I want to admit my ignorance here. Infidel, do you have any insight on this stuff? Because I would love to hear it.
I mean, just like hopes and dreams, you know, I think we're kind of similarly minded in that, you know, this is, you know, we were enjoying this game when there was thousands of people, just a couple thousand people, and you know, and it's gotten where it is now, and then I think we all agree it's going to bigger places still, but I didn't really know I'd be doing this. Like, I didn't know I'd be, you know, streaming twice a day, you know, creating content, and you know, I go into MavChat, and this is kind of like a weird feeling. I go into MavChat today, I'm trying to get answers to different things, and I'm trying to find my own comment from like a few weeks ago so I can corroborate some comment. And I see like 20 or 30 comments that are talking about me, like, hey, go check out Dwayne's channel, go check out Infidel's channel. And it's the strange thing where like, I'm just a dude who likes a video game. So I didn't see this coming, but I kind of feel like maybe I could figure that out. Like, I don't really know. I certainly would love to be a validator. And I think it's going to be a really interesting opportunity to support the network and to maybe draw a community around yourself. And I mean, I mean, that's just really just like hopes and dreams maybe, but I do think it's really cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, you definitely have an audience to help push you in that direction, because I think that's kind of a big part of it, is to get people to vote for you. You know, I know I'm in Immortal Gods Guild, #1 guild in the universe, and and I know a couple of them have been talking about it, but I do not know much about it other than it's kind of a necessary thing for really decentralizing the game, like in the true spirit of decentralization, which is important, you know, because that's kind of the whole basis of crypto and this game, and you know that's been in the white paper since the very beginning. You know, which is what SPS is really representing, is that that's kind of like an ownership token, kind of where the more you have, the more sway you have of what direction this game goes in, as one of the additional perks to it, other than voucher drops or whatever else is coming along. So I mean,
and they first of all, I was in IG2 for several months. They're great guys over there. I really appreciate them. I only left because I just couldn't play enough, and I didn't want to be wasting a spot. They need they've got the best players in there, man. And so that was IG2. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate you. Ozzy's in my comments all the time. What was I going to say? Something you were talking. I lost my train of thought.
The validators.
The validators. The validators. I wanted to comment a little bit on what I don't know how much you guys know about what they're calling for, but one of the big things, and this is maybe not everybody knows this is super important for the value proposition argument around SPS and actually Splinterlands broadly. The validator system is going to implement I think it's called the foundation, and it's going to be, first of all, I think it was like $5 million is in there now that Yaba and Aggie have access to. It's there. They've always said they were going to dedicate it to, you know, communal ownership and part of the governance. The governance model will decide how that gets spent through voting. And that's what the validators will oversee. It's like, do we want to remove the algorithmic inflation on DEC, yes or no, and you vote based on your stake of SPS, and decisions like that will be governed by the power of your vote will sway these things, and then there'll be that $3 million that will decide how to spend. And by the way, it's $3 million based on like today's market values, but like in the future, I would argue that will appreciate. And also Rift Watchers is 3 million packs, $5 each, $15 million worth of SPS going into that pool. And then we're overseeing that. So we're up to like $20 million in that pool that validators are going to they don't get to spend it exactly. It's more like people who have SPS propose X, and then the community agrees or disagrees. And if we agree, then the validators oversee that vote was done properly, and then execute the code, I guess, if that's necessary. Like, it's kind of like a smart contract, but it's overseen by people who we call validators, and it's observably fair because you can see which SPS voted on which. And so to me, it's an absolute game changer. Literally, it's going to change the economy. It's going to change the way this thing's run. And if you didn't believe in Splinterlands, because some people are critical of Aggie and Yaba, I think they're crazy, but you know, this is your time to take those reins if you have, you know, the will to go out and buy SPS right now.
Well, I will say that if people are critical of Aggie and Matt, it's because they've only been here since August. You know, having been here since October of 2018 playing this game, literally watching them overcome so many like random obstacles of growing a small game with minimal amount of players and basically no blueprint of how to do this, you know, like just this crazy, amazing vision that they had and were able to just like navigate through. But every roadblock they came across, every decision they made, even if it was like my personal reaction to it was like, oh, that's not financially good for me. It was always like, I always was like, that's the best decision for the company or for this game. And the reason that I own a region is solely from the 2 years of decision making that I watched them have leading up to that. And at the time, you know, the $9,000, $8,500, whatever I put into the region, that was a lot of money for me. Like I scraped together like all of my extra stuff, you know, crypto, and just pounded into this region, then watch crypto double right after I bought that, and I was like, oh, this might not have been a good move. And then like, but you know, now it's like, wow, that's the best decision I've ever made in my life.
Yeah.
And I owe that to the track record of Agrod and Matt, and really having the utmost trust in their decision-making process. And so there's been multiple times on this stream where someone like kind of attacks Matt or Agrod, and like I just start to like lose it and like defend them to like, you know, like they're my blood brother.
It's never a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good way to get me riled up.
You're gonna get the trolls in there now. They're gonna be dropping bombs.
Oh no, I just make them disappear.
Yeah. And Gank can now. What was that? The Venery assassin. All right, so you know how many
two
Venery
comments that piss me off. They're no longer allowed to comment.
Tender Shepherd. That's the Aggie Tender Shepherd, man. And like I met with him and I did a 30-minute interview with him, and just the generosity, as far as I'm concerned, like I said earlier, and I really mean it, like I'm not just trying to sound humble, like I'm just a dude who likes a video game, and it so happens people are into watching that. But for Aggie to be like a multi-million, like I don't even know what he's worth. He's worth a ton of money. And he comes on my little show and he's like, he just, you know, he's got making time for me. And to me, that shows not just that he's a businessman that's trying to make a good game. And it so happens I like that game. Yes, he is that. But he's also a person who loves this community and actually wants people to feel kind of a part of something. And I don't think that that's normal. Like I don't like I see like Blizzard and other big companies, they do that like once a year. It's this big show, and I can't imagine some of those guys coming on, you know, for 5,000 viewers. And so to me, it's a gigantic indication. It is. I say often on my channel, they've helped me build faith in what they're building. Like I have confidence in who they are and what they've done and where they're aiming. And if you don't out there, then you shouldn't be taking the steps I'm doing. But if you get it, like I get it, then you're going to be wanting more SPS and more Chaos Legion, and getting the cards and playing the game every day. And not for next month, not for like the 3-week or 4-week turnaround, like aiming, you know, 3-4 years out, because you're just getting started and you want to be reasonable and recognize that it takes time for a plant to grow.
Right. And you know, when he's recently been talking about his like just his broader, bigger vision, I mean, like how like heartwarming and like beautiful is like just the way he's thinking about everything. I mean, if that doesn't like warm you up inside, you know, like, and so absolutely, like really you're investing, if you are investing in this game, you're investing in Agrod and Matt and Hardpoint as much as you are the game. You know, this is vision. This is the type of you know, the crypto space can be super gnarly, and it just feels like such a safe place here at Splinterlands. Like it just really does. It just feels like not just a great community, but just like the way they protect the players and the investments that they make is just unbelievably like not like anything that exists out there. And like you said, the Blizzards of the world and stuff, they only do stuff like this for show. It's only so that they can check off something on their list of what they think they're supposed to be doing, but it's not really who they are. And this Splinterlands is definitely a special place.